The year I turned 30, death became optional. It wasn't some big announcement with sirens or speeches, just a quiet update from a company called Continuance. Their message was simple: life extension services now available. Death is no longer mandatory. The price was listed at the bottom, and it was more than I'd ever earn in my lifetime. At first, things didn't seem to change much. People still died. The old, the sick, the poor. Funerals felt the same. But now, everyone whispered the same thing under their breath. They couldn't afford it. Continuance called it a renewal. When your body started to give out, they'd step in. Cell repair, neural stabilization, organ reset. It bought you another 10 years. Then you paid again. The rich didn't talk about it. They just stayed. CEOs stopped retiring. Politicians clung to power. Celebrities never seemed to age. Wrinkles became a class marker, a sign that you couldn't afford to keep up. As time passed, I watched my own parents get older while the faces on billboards remained frozen in time. On my 40th birthday, my mother asked me, "Did you ever think about buying it?" I just laughed. "With what money?" She nodded, understanding. She passed away 3 years later. We buried her next to my father. Their graves were simple, but most new ones weren't. They came with signs that read, "Non-renewed." It felt cruel, but the living seemed to like the reminder. By the time I hit 50, I noticed something else. No one important was dying anymore. Accidents still happened, of course, but only to people without continuance accounts. A factory collapsed. The owner walked away. A train crashed. Everyone in first class survived. Continuance called it priority extraction. The rest of us just called it reality. I ended up working as a maintenance clerk at one of their facilities, cleaning floors while people paid to live forever. One night, I saw a young-looking man sitting alone in the waiting area. "First renewal?" I asked, trying to make conversation. He smiled. "Fifth?" I tried not to look shocked. "That's a lot." He just shrugged. "I don't know what else to spend money on." That conversation stuck with me. A week later, Continuance sent out a new update. Prices were going up. Longevity, inflation, they called it. Life, just like everything else, was getting more expensive. People protested. Not the rich, of course. The rest of us marched and shouted. But Continuance simply released a statement: death is still free. The protests died down after that. On my 62nd birthday, I got sick. Nothing dramatic, just a constant exhaustion. The doctor ran some tests. Organ failure, slow and inevitable. He didn't call it terminal. He said, "You have options." I already knew the price. I went home and looked at my savings. It wouldn't even cover 1 year. I sold everything: my car, my furniture, even my wedding ring. It still wasn't enough. Continuance offered payment plans with crushing interest. Miss one payment and the support ended permanently. I asked their representative what happens then. She smiled politely. "We let nature resume." I didn't sign anything. Instead, I waited. In the hospital, I shared a room with a man named Elias. He had paid. This was his 7th renewal. "You ever get tired?" I asked him one day. He paused for a moment. "No," he said, "but I get bored." His family was long gone, died decades ago. He showed me photos on a tablet, generations of strangers who shared his face. "I don't remember all of it anymore," he admitted. "Just the important parts." "What's important?" I asked. He looked right at me. "That I stayed. That night, my condition got worse. A nurse asked if I wanted her to contact continuance. I just shook my head. She nodded with a look that said she'd seen it all before. In the morning, Elias was gone, transferred to a private wing. I never saw him again. On my last day, I watched the sun come through the window. It looked the same as it always had. A news ticker scrolled by on a screen on the wall. Continuance announces new tier. Permanence. Unlimited life for an unlimited cost. I closed my eyes, and for the first time in years, I felt a sense of calm, because death wasn't optional for me. It was still mine. If this story stayed with you, there are more coming. Like the video and subscribe.